Hey, beginning watercolor, it's Brad here. This is going to be a short video on your brushes. Okay, so we're going to talk just a little bit about the brushes that you have and the brushes that you may want to pick up along the way, and then how to care for them. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so the brushes that we have for this class, they're these Cotman, Winsor & Newton brushes, and I just picked out a few for us. A 6. This is one of my favorite sizes. It's a go-to. You know, I like having a 6 and a 10 and a 2. That's kind of like where I like to be with there. I didn't get the 10 because I was just trying to keep costs low, and we're working pretty small in this class. We only have the 9 by 12 inch paper, so we don't have to do anything too much bigger. But anyway, we do have, for some of those other ones, we have like these flats or these one stroke brushes. That's a 1/2 inch 13 millimeter, and then we have the 1/4 inch 6 millimeter. So we have those as well. I've been using this one so far. I've actually used both of these, and I've liked them. They've been really good. But so no issues with those. They've been holding the water really well. They have a decent amount of spring to them. Now these are like kind of that snap back. You know, see how they kind of go back to that same spot or that same point. That's good. Sometimes when you get the really cheap watercolor brushes, you go like that and it just stays. It just like you just kind of, and it just like flops over. Okay, so almost kind of flops over like my camera right now. Okay, so anyway, these are good. These are synthetic, and when you get brushes, they will come in a variety. You know, you can get them like synthetic, or you can get them natural hair, or you can get kind of hybrid ones with both. I like the synthetic ones because they are inexpensive, and I can afford them, and they have a good snap to them. You know, the other ones, look, I just feel really scared. Like I'm scared to use like an $80 brush. You know, if they're like under $10, I feel pretty good about it. But as you go along, you might want to pick up some of those natural hair, sable hair brushes and all that. You know, get squirrel hair and all sorts of fun things. We're not going to use that in this class. So if you're at that level, you've moved beyond these initial videos that I've got going for you. So anyway, just a kind of a quick reminder. Now I haven't used this brush yet. You can see it's like, if you try to like go like there, it's like got a little bit of this stuff in there. I don't know if it's glue or kind of gum arabic or whatever they put into these brushes from the manufacturer, so that when they ship, they don't get smashed around. So they stay pretty firm. So what you do, I think I showed this in one of the other videos already, but just kind of slosh it around in some water. And it's all ready. It's like dissolved. It's all ready. See? All right, perfect. Okay, and then when you're cleaning out your brushes, just so you know, in all honesty, I don't clean out my brushes very much. Usually what I do with watercolor, at the end of the day, I just rinse them out in clean water. I get it so it's clean, make sure that color isn't coming out of it if it looks kind of clean in there, and I just set them up on top of my water glass. That's, in all honesty, that's what I do. I just rinse them out and I just set them right there, and then when I go to use them the next day or whenever I use them, I just put them back in some clean water, kind of get them going, and it's like, looks like nothing's coming out of them. And so that's how I do it. And I've done that for years, and I don't rinse them out. I don't wash them out. Some people use soap. They'll use like an ivory soap or even some soap cleaners. You got to be careful with that, because those soaps can be harsh, especially if you have like those really expensive brushes. But in here, we're just using these synthetics, so you should be able to be okay with using a little soap if you want to clean it out. Now you might say, like, this is like, I've had this brush. I think I showed you before. I've had this for like 20 plus years. I don't know how long. It's been a long time, and I don't know that I've ever cleaned it out. Maybe I've cleaned it out. Maybe I have cleaned it out. I used to clean them out a little bit more often. I probably haven't cleaned this out in at least 10 or 15 years. All right. So if you did want to clean it out, you just grab you grab a little soap, little ivory soap or whatever, some very kind of soft one, and basically you can just kind of, I just got this, just a tiny bit of soap on here, and you can just kind of rub it. Oh, sorry, you can't even see it. I was just kind of rubbing it in your hand, and what you'll see is like I'm getting just a tiny bit out. There's just, let's get some more soap. You can see it's a little sudsy. All right, and basically you just kind of work it up and really kind of lap this up. You can see it's like some getting some tone out of it. It's just like a kind of a darker, almost like purpley gray, and just kind of working back up into this ferrule. See, like that's where it was darkest because I just had some pigments that just weren't able to get out. So you just want to use a very mild soap. That's why they like the ivory. It's kind of the stuff that you use for little babies when they're born, just like your brushes. Okay, and then you can rinse it out, and you can keep kind of this process going, and hopefully it'll some of this will come out. Now I'm just going to rinse this out really good. I'll probably rinse it out a little bit more after this video is done, but that's how you can kind of go ahead and start to clean. My hand off here. Clean some of these brushes. Again, but it's I don't have a lot of cross contamination when I do this. The watercolor. Maybe I'm not that particular. I'm not my paintings aren't that delicate, but usually I just kind of rinse them out at the end of the day. And this is how you actually want to let them. This is how I let them dry. You don't want to just leave them. Don't let your watercolors just soak in there like that. That's not good for your brush. Okay, so don't do that overnight or anything like that. Just kind of set them up like this. Let them dry completely so you're not smashing the tip. You want your tips to be remain really nice. You don't want to like just smash them into things. Don't just set it into a cup like even without water in it, because it's going to bend these tips over, and it'll just be like, it'll come out of the thing, it'll look like that. You want them to be pointed, not over like that. All right, so I know some people get really particular about this. If you are really particular about this, go research it, and you can find people that are very meticulous about cleaning their brushes, a very methodical and way and everything. But for us, for the beginners, the main thing is you got to rinse them out, let them dry like this. Don't smash those tips, okay? And that'll work. I haven't done anything special, and I've had these brushes, like I said, many of them for over 25 years. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you guys are interested. There's different types of brushes. Let's see. Let's see. I don't even have a rigger. I thought I had one. I don't. Well, let's just see. What else do I got? I know I've got here's a Sumi brush. In fact, I'm not going to show you all the brushes there are. You can easily find out a lot of brushes online, and so I'll let you just do that. I had a mop, but I don't even have my mop out here somewhere. I must have left it in class somewhere. But this is one that I actually use. I like these Sumi brushes, and this is just like kind of a flat wash, but I feel like they really hold the water a lot better than some of these kind of watercolor brushes that you can get. Even I like Daniel Smith, and I like these, but these are I think they're cheaper end brushes, and they're okay. They're fine, but I feel like these really hold a lot of water, and they're nice. So those are cool. So I like these Sumi brushes. They're pretty cool. And rounds. Like I said, I like this is a good brush to get, and I recommend if you're going to get more brushes as you go along from the set that we had. Okay, first of all, I encourage you guys, after you got these 4 brushes that came with the class, get one of these Sumi brushes. They're cheap and they're very effective. You see, I do a demo in there with a landscape doing a sky with one of these. It's so easy to do really nice washes. So get a couple Sumi brushes. They come in all sorts of sizes and shapes and stuff. Oh, not too many shapes, but they come in rounds and flats. And then, you might want to pick up another really nice round. I like this, like a tan round. You might even get some bigger ones. You can do remarkably really detailed work with a nice round, even if it's a big brush, because you can just use just the tip and it holds a lot of water in there. So it's really nice. And I would encourage you, when you go buy your next brushes, if you're really into watercolor, spend a good amount of money. Get good ones. All right, you don't have to get $80 brushes, but don't just get those bargain brand ones. Get a good one. So anyway, I'm not going to go over all these other brushes right now. I had some other ones I was going to show you, but I just want to keep these videos short. And so again, this is just a beginner kind of starting off as you're getting brushes. The other brush, you might, just grab a toothbrush, and these are kind of fun because you can do neat things, like you can dip it in there and you can really like fling, like splatter in some areas. There's other, I did want to show you these. I hadn't talked about these yet. Okay, these are scrubber brushes. Okay, so you can make your own scrubber brush too by just buying like kind of an oil painting like hog hair brush. It's like firm bristles, and you can see like these are pretty firm. They're like hard. And what you can use these for is like you can scrub. They're called a scrubber brush. Yeah, that's what they call them here too. Okay, so this is a scrubber brush. So you can just basically like rub out areas, and you can lift it up, and it's like an eraser. You can kind of pull out highlights here and there if you've got something like a dark on there, or if you want to pull out like a white cap on a seascape or something. You want to lift some of the white off of that. You can just kind of scrub it in there with a wet brush. You get some clear water and just kind of scrub it, and that paint will lift off, and you can just kind of soak it up, and it's like a little eraser. And so these are cool, and you can make your own, or you can buy them. And I have a couple different scrubber brushes. I don't use the big one very much anymore at all. I think I did at the beginning, but now when I scrub and lift stuff, it's just usually just like a little bit. And so I do use this one occasionally. Anyway, I think that's about it. Yeah, when you're cleaning up, just have, like, these are my water cups. I just basically, once I'm done, just get as much water out. Really, to be honest with you, I don't even clean them out much more beyond that. I do want to like clean them out with clear water, so there's not just letting pigment dry in them. But after that, I just set them down and I walk away. I know there's going to be a lot of professionals out there and a lot of people that are better watercolor artists than me that are having a fit right now, but you know what? That works for me. So if you are one of my students and you think this works for you, great. If you need to get better advice from another instructor, I totally understand. You should go do that. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and we'll talk with you later. Okay, bye.